A very warm welcome to new video of SNC QMS Consultant. This video is about ISO 9001 2015 gap analysis and how to do it. Before going to this video, I will request you to watch our other ISO 9001 2015 related videos which can help you. Videos like detailed plan of certification of ISO 9001 2015, secrets to understand ISO 9001 2015, changes in ISO 9001 2008 and ISO 9001 2015, decision to adopt ISO 9001 2015. I had kept the links of all these videos in description box. Please go and watch them, they will be beneficial for you. Let us move to this new video of how to do gap analysis of ISO 9001 2015. In this video, we are going to see what is gap analysis, why to do gap analysis, when to conduct gap analysis, how to do gap analysis, how to make report, how should be a checklist of gap analysis, how to use gap analysis for development of quality management system. Let us start with what is gap analysis. Gap analysis is an audit or survey to compare or find out gap between organizations' management system and ISO 9001 2015 requirements. This is like an audit which will be done to find out the gap between the organization's existing practices and the ISO 9001 2015 requirements. Why to do this gap analysis? This gap analysis will give several benefits while development of ISO 9001 2015 quality management system for an organization. So first benefit is to avoid wastage of time. Here with the gap analysis, team can focus more on required part of quality management system development so that the unnecessary time will be avoided. Avoid start from zero. Some organizations they start from zero to develop this quality management system, but if in gap analysis it is found that initial clauses are very nicely implemented in organizations accidentally, it is not required to start development of QMS from start only. So start from zero is not required if in gap analysis everything is fine, okay. Fast way to implement of ISO 9001 2015. As this audit report will give you the gap analysis, you can focus more on the required part or wherever there is a gap so that the implementation will be fast. When to conduct this gap analysis audit? First is after decision of ISO 9001 2015 of adoption by organization, and once this decision is taken, before the implementation of or development of the system, this gap analysis should be done. How to do this gap analysis? First is decide the team of auditors who should having a good knowledge and experience about the organizational process and ISO 9001 2015 requirements. Then make a checklist of gap analysis. We will talk about this in coming slides. Audit schedule, in which each ISO 9001 2015 requirement and the auditee from each and every department or processes should be scheduled in audit. Compare each requirement of ISO 9001 2015 with processes, documents, quality manual, etc. if any. There will be two types of organizations. One will be very fresh where there will be no such documents, so the gap analysis will be showing more gaps. And there will be some organizations who are maybe following accidentally some of the similar practices. There the gap analysis will be lesser. The last one is write down the non-conformities, observations, improvement and suggestions. How to make gap analysis report? So once you did the gap analysis, how should be your report so that it will be beneficial for a system developing team? Make report of findings, non-conformities, observations, improvements, suggestions for each clause of ISO 9001 2015. Give report to team of system development and participate in it. So auditor's duty here is to make a report with the findings, non-conformities and observations which he found during the audit, and give some suggestions also, so that he can be participate in developing this quality management system. How should be checklist? So this is one of the important part of video. Cover each clause and subclause of ISO 9001 2015. Provision for major nonconformity, minor nonconformity and observations, action suggestions. Cover all the processes, documented informations of organizations. So a checklist should cover all these 3 points. Let us see some of the formats which auditor should use. First one is the audit schedule. Here you can see on left side it is ISO column, ISO clause number, that is 4.1. Then ISO clause requirement, understanding the organization and its context. Auditee for this audit schedule for this 4.1 clauses, leader plus system coordinator. Auditor will be ABC. Audit date will be XXX and audit time will be 10 a.m. If you see 4.3 clause, here we are putting a different auditor named DEF and the time is putting 10 here. So you can use several auditors and you can plan accordingly. Formats criteria for non-conformities. How a auditor should select that whether his observation is a major NC or minor NC or just an observation or improvement point. So for example here this will be applicable for entire audit purpose. This is just a general guidelines for auditor. Suppose in clause 4.1 he should check whether the knowledge about requirement with the audit is good. If it is good, no problem. But if he is having no knowledge at all, it will be major NC. And if he is having a partial knowledge, it will be minor NC. And if you want to suggest something for improvement purpose, he can suggest. Second one is if he is having knowledge but the system is not documented, then it will be a major NC. And if system is partially or 50% documented, it will be a minor NC. In observation and improvement, if a system is fully established, but if you want to suggest something for improvement purpose, he can suggest. Third one is the system implemented. Document is there, but system is not implemented. That is, nobody is using those documents or those systems. Then it's a major NC. Suppose the audit is for 4 processes and 2 processes the system is followed and another 2 it is not followed, then it will be a minor NC. And for improvements and observations, he can do the suggestions. Last one is the system practice. So you have everything here, but the system is not practiced at all. It will be a major NC. It will in some minor NC it will be practiced, but not for all the samples. So like this, for everything you can use this checkpoint for deciding whether it is a major NC, minor NC, or observation point or a improvement point. Next format is the checklist. This is the most important thing in this video. How should be a checklist? Left side it should be a clause number, the requirement should be next column, that is external issues and internal issues. If you read the standard, it will be coming under the context of the organization where external issues and internal issues should be handled and action should be taken. So for this, whether procedure is required or not, it is not required. So auditor will not see the procedure here, but he will ask certain documents and will see the effectiveness of these documents on the product and process. What documents he should ask for external issues? He should ask the review frequency, team, and the actions for external issues and the supported related documents. So in the external issues, as you may knowing that several external factors affects on the organization's goal and strategies. So what are those external issues and how organization is reviewing them? Who are the team members? What is the frequency? And what points they are going to review? Whether some actions taken or not. These all things he will check with the supporting evidence documents. And then he will check whether those are effective or not, and accordingly he will take a decision, minor NC, major NC, and of course he is going to use the earlier criteria for that knowledge with the auditee, whether a system is established, whether system is documented, whether system is practiced. Like this, for each clause we can use the questionnaire. Here I just given some of the example like 4.1, 4.2, 4.3 and 4.4. If you want the detailed checklist, you can contact us through this YouTube channel. This is a format that auditor will use for his observations and evidence for major and minor analysis, so that it will link to the next report, which is the summary report. So here in summary report, he can put serial number, clause number, the process he audited, and the NC detail, that is major NC with the evidence, minor NC with the evidence, observations with the evidence, and improvement suggestions with the evidence. Then this report will go to the quality management system development of ISO 9001 2015, and they will take this action with the help of auditor, auditee and some other team members, and that action will be a quality management system development. So this format is a final summary report, which is a output of gap analysis but input to the system development team. How to use this gap analysis report? First, take actions all major NCs and minor NCs while developing the QMS. As I told, the final summary report will give all the evidences of major NCs, minor NCs, so that the team can focus on these areas and start working immediately and develop a good quality management system. Consider observations and improvements while developing the QMS. Not only major NC, minor NC, but the team shall consider the observations and improvement suggestions also. Involvement of auditee and auditor with other CFT members is very important while developing this quality management system. In conclusion, I can say that gap analysis is beneficial for identifying gaps between ISO 9001 2015 requirements and organizations' current practice. Experienced auditors can give good results. Output shall be used as input for developing ISO 9001 2015 QMS in simple and cost effective way. Please do check our playlist of ISO 9001 2015 standard for other related videos which are very beneficial for you. Please subscribe the channel, like and share this video. Thank you for watching the video.